How is everybody doing? Hope you're all well. We're going to take a look at Hergest Ridge. This was the second album by Mike Oldfield, released in August 1974 after his groundbreaking Tubular Bells. Now, this has just been released. It says Hergest Ridge 50th anniversary. But this is 2025, or this is 2025. And technically, Hergest Ridge should have been released August 2024. So yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. This one is a double, so it's Hergest Ridge, original 1974 mix, half speed mastered at Abbey Road by Miles Showell, plus the Mike Oldfield 2010 mix, and that's the first time on LP. That was released in the deluxe edition back in 2010. And so was the 1974 mix. Gave us a new cover because this was the original cover. And some people like this, you know. I always thought it was a little bit kind of cheesy, but it's of its time. The Virgin label. This is very old. I think it's a Spanish pressing. I don't have a UK pressing. I ought to get one. I like the pressings from the mother country of the artist. Yeah. So the 2010 had sleeve notes, which was fantastic. It was a nice little story. And you get two different labels, part 1, part 2. Hergest Ridge, it was a lot, it was much softer than part 1 anyway, than Tubular Bells, which was a bit more inventive and had lots of twists and turns in it, and even part 2 did. It's pretty complete as a whole work. With Hergest Ridge, I always found that part 2, there's kind of a folk part, and then there's kind of an organ piece goes on for a little bit, and then there's a guitar-a-thon, I call it, where you have 100 guitars blasting away for ages. It seems like it's never going to end. I think that kind of ruins the album for me, because part 1 is beautiful and part 2 is, I don't know, it's as if he kind of halfway through he thought, you know, like he went into retreat after the success of Tubular Bells, and couldn't really cope with all the attention he was getting. He didn't expect to get the attention, you know. But anyway, what we have here is 2025 press in Germany, made in Germany, and it's a gatefold. It opens out like this. Now there's a yellow stripe across the top, which is kind of bizarre, really. Yeah, but other than that, it's nice. As well as that, you will notice that the text has been moved to the center, and the glider has been moved. So there's a bit of trickery going on here. This one has the original rear cover as well, and this one has a different back on it. That's the actual ridge itself. But what we get here is the gatefold and just a little word by Mike, you know, about the success of TB. And then inside we have just a nice black polyline sleeve, and you have the 1974 mix and part 1 and part 2, and they have different labels, I think. Yeah, they do. Very subtle differences, but what I find bizarre in this one is that they give you inner sleeves. They're just photographs, and there's nothing else really, you know. There's no. I thought there was going to be more sleeve notes and stuff like that, and the pictures are quite pixelated. It's as if they were taken on a phone and blown up. The quality is pretty, you know. They go to the trouble of printing this on a, you know, a large format like vinyl is, you know, 12 by 12, and yeah, you just get the details. The album's recorded at the Manor in spring '74. Yeah, half-speed master cut at Abbey Road by Miles Shoel, spring 2025. Yeah, but that's it really. You know, you can take the records out of the black sleeves and put them in here, but the quality is pretty poor. You know, there's nothing else, no download, nothing like that. I'm not sure if this is even going to come out on CD. Yeah, but then the second platter is the 2010 mix. Now, some people like this. I think he kind of plucked out some things that made them stand out a little bit more. If you listen to it with headphones, it's a bit better to take in. And of course, you got two pictures on that as well. But yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. I know they did the same with Tubular Bells, the original album, back in 2016. You've got the Abbey Road Master, I think, is it back then? And yeah, but again, you know, nothing else. You know, obviously it's a bit of a strange effort. You know, it just puts the 2010 mix on vinyl for the first time. But there's 3 mixes of Hergest Ridge, I must add, and the first one, the 1974 mix, okay, is on albums pressed in the 70s and all that. And then, for some reason, in 1976, Boxed was released, which contained Tubular Bells, Hergest Ridge, and Almadon. And these were remixed for quadraphonic sound. And then there was also an album of collaborations, which was also released as a standalone. But, so Mike liked the quad mix so much over the original mix that he put word out, or there was word out to the record company, that all pressings forward of 1976 would be the boxed mix, and this is it on CD here. So the boxed mix, this is the 1989 edition, was released on CD, I think, back in 86 or something like that, when they all started coming out on a CD. So the original CD that you got back in the mid-80s with the brutal artwork is the boxed mix. So as far as I know, the original 1974 mix was never released on compact disc until and this one was also the box mix, the 2000 HD CD master. Yeah, the discs on these are gas. Like the artwork is terrible. I don't mind them though. But the deluxe edition has the original 1974 stereo mixes as disc 2, and that was issued on CD for the first time. Here you have it. And then all subsequent CD standalone versions were the 2010 mix. So if you went out and bought the single CD of this, you were getting the 2010 mix, which still exists. So the pressings that have come out in 2010, this is the original 74, and then you have now the whole lot. Like, so everything is. I'm losing track now. It's just getting complicated. Yeah, so it's quite interesting, really. I myself, when I bought it on compact disc, I think I was in London in 1991. I went into Virgin in London and I bought Hergest Ridge on compact disc, and I liked that mix, and I didn't realize that was actually, I thought it was the original mix. It's not. It's the 1976 quad mix for stereo, obviously. Then you've got this classic album selection, which is great. I wish they'd do a second part. But you also have this as well. Well, now there was also a normal CD of this, and this one again it's got a different label here again. This is the these are the 2010 mixes in this one. So yeah, so technically there is no CD version as of now, I think, of the original mix apart from this. Now, if this comes out in compact disc, I'm not sure if it will or not. I'm not sure. I didn't see it on the website. Then you'll get original mix on CD, but it would be nice to get an edition, say, with 3 CDs in it, so that you have remastered versions of the original CD, the boxed mix, and the 2010, and you've got the 3 in one place. But yeah, that's it really. It's a nice album. I think part 1 is absolutely beautiful. I really like it. I really do. I haven't listened to this yet. I only just opened it. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty and ins and outs of vinyl and how it sounds and stuff like that. I think that vinyl is nice as a souvenir. I really prefer digital, and I have a lot of vinyl, as you can see, all over the place. But I've gone beyond that debate, and you look on Discogs, and there's people saying, "Oh, that new pressing, it was awful," and then you see you guys saying, "Oh, that was fantastic." Vinyl is a flawed format. It was as good as it is for the time, and when you didn't know any better and stuff like. But I think overall, I prefer listening to compact discs, and I thought I'd never say it. Been buying CDs since 1988, and I do prefer the sound of a compact disc. Vinyl is warmer. It's softer. But the modern albums that have been cut today, I don't think they sound great at all, to be honest with you. I just prefer to get the CD and listen to that. Vinyl's a novelty. I hardly ever play it. It's usually CDs, because I prefer the power, the punch, and the separation on the compact disc, and that's it. So yeah, so that's Hergest Ridge. Great album. I guess Armageddon is coming soon, and I think this Armageddon was released in 1975, so I'd say we should be seeing Armageddon pretty quickly. But yeah, it's this is a bit strange. Like I said, there's a new essay on it by somebody would have been nice. People that don't know Oldfield's work very well, that are into the modern stuff that he's done since Tubular Bells 2. Be nice to get some background on Hergest. Another thing as well, I think design is a bit poor. I like this font here, you know. I like this. I mean, the original font was, and these are things that bug me because I used to be a printer and stuff like that. The original Hergest Ridge, that's close to the text. I think they must have obviously made it up again and scanned it. That is it, right? And but the yeah, and the Mike Oldfield is the same as well. Is it? No, it's not. That's lowercase with 2 capitals, and this is all higher case. So there's a bit of a mess going on here. Yeah, you know. But I think with this one, you know, I think this font is called Zaf Chancery or Chancery. I can't remember what it is. But you know, down the side, then they use the Zaf Chancery. So they're taking the you know, the style and putting a third style, which is kind of annoying. Whereas this one has a different one again. It's almost like a Times or not Helvetica, sorry. It's like a Times or a Garamond or something. Yeah. So yeah, you know, you could tell me what you think. Hergest Ridge, I like it. I do. The melodies will stick in your head for years. I've been listening to it since 1991. It's a beautiful album. Again, side 2, that guitar orchestra that just kind of keeps repeating and repeating. It doesn't really do much for me. That actually makes me kind of edgy or something. I don't know. It provokes. Side 1 is beautiful and pastoral and stuff. I mean, he wrote it out in the countryside, between the border between England and Wales, and yeah. So anyway, that's it really. There's not much more to say. It's great to see releases from Mike because he's not doing any new music, and I hope there'll be much more. You know, I think Tubular Bells, Hergest Ridge, Omadon, and Incantations are fantastic albums. You know, genius albums, really. Yeah, so that's it. There's not much more to say. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and take care.